up everybody, it's been a long time since I've made a new video and I'm back finally after a long time. A couple of developments that have happened in the past. Pixelwise is now a formally incorporated company. We're called Pixelwise Solutions Private Limited. As part of Pixelwise, I've started a new brand called VerySimple WP. The goal of this brand is to create simple, straightforward, bloat-free WordPress plugins and themes. So I've made a couple of interesting ones and today I would like to show you one of them. So this particular plugin is called the VerySimple Horizontal Navigation Slider, and if you go to verysimplewp.com and then go to the plugins tab, you'll be able to find the first two plugins that we've launched. Now the Horizontal Navigation Slider plugin is a blog-based plugin, so it's only going to work with the Gutenberg editor and full site editing, but it's something really interesting and I didn't find any plugins that could do this right now. Alright, so I'll explain to you the concept behind the plugin and how it works and why I created it. So I was browsing a couple of websites, and if you notice, some websites don't have sub-menus below their main menu. So if you click on the main menu, like that's about it, and below that you'll see like an horizontal bar, and on the horizontal bar you'll see menus which are scrollable. So let's say you have 10 menu items, it would look really ugly to put them into a drop down. So in that case they added to a bar which you can slide left and right. So that is really cool. So I personally hate the drop down menus and the sub menus when it comes to using the block editor. Okay, they're really ugly and I always wanted to focus on the main core pages of my website. So when somebody clicks on one of the core pages, they'll see a bar, and on the bar there would be like menu items which can be scrolled left and right. So even if you're on a mobile device, like this is the best way to get it done, because all of the menus would not be visible, and if a user scrolls on the menu, it would be visible. So I'll just show you an example simulated on Google Chrome and how it looks on mobile, so you get a clear understanding of what I'm trying to build. Okay, so this is your regular menu, and I would not like to have sub menus below this. So what I've done is, like, let's say if you go into one of the pages called legal, you have these sub menus that are listed here, and if you scroll, this is how it works. Okay, so let's say I go to privacy policy, and then I get to see the page on privacy policy, and then I can always like scroll and then go to cookie policy. I can always scroll and go back to refund policy. So this is really aesthetic and it's really useful, and the plugin is really small and simple. It's only 15 KB. There's nothing else to it. That's the foundation of VerySimple WP. We'll only create plugins and themes with limited functionality, and you can just download the functionalities that you just want to use. So it's very specific. You download a plugin, you just get the particular functionality that you're looking for. So what happens is, a lot of people make a plugin and that entire plugin like has a ton of functionality, a ton of features, and it really makes the site very heavy. It makes the site slow, and you're not going to use all that functionality. So the concept behind VerySimple WP was to narrow down and make small bite-sized plugins and themes, very specific, and just install what you need and you don't have to bother about the rest. Alright, so now I'm going to show you how this entire plugin works. So I have a demo site installed here, and I'll just go into plugins. This is a completely fresh installation. It's using the WordPress 2024 block theme. To demonstrate how the plugin works, I'm going to create a new page. Let's call this page Slider Navigation and publish it. So this is the entire page. Now for this particular page I'll be using no title, so I'll have to swap out the template and select page no title and save it, and that's like a full width block that you have. Now this is your regular menu, and below this entire section I would want to have another navigation with all of these links which can be slid left and right. So I'll go into the slider navigation page. What I'm going to do is, like, I'll just show you how the plugin works without adding any functionality in any groups. Just click backslash and then search for horizontal navigation slider, and then you have the entire block. So if you click on the plus sign, you'll be able to add the custom links, which is your custom link, post link, page link, category link, tag link. Basically anything that has to do with links can be added, and you can create a custom structure. So it's not completely dependent on the WordPress navigation system, because what happens is sometimes the navigation is synced. So if you make one particular change on this navigation, it would affect the global navigation settings for that. Alright, so I thought everyone's going to have different navigations, and instead of creating several types of navigations and then implementing it here, you could just create a custom navigation each time you want to like set up this plugin. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and click on page link. Let's just select slider navigation. Now I'm not going to create multiple pages right now. I'm just going to click enter and duplicate it and add a couple of more of these same links. Okay, we'll add a couple of sample pages here. So that's a lot of links. Alright, and I'm going to go ahead and save it now. So if I go now to the page, you'll see all of the links appear right now here, and if you slide left and right, you'll be able to see all of the links that are in the page. So this is really cool, and you could customize the links, you could change their font, you could change the size, you could change the color, you could remove the underline. It's completely flexible because there's nothing being touched on the links. It's like completely WordPress. Alright, so what I'm going to do is, I would like to have like a gray box here, and within that gray box have this entire slider placed. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to add a group, and I'll select full width group, and I'll just turn this setting off, inner blocks use content width. So in this way the entire section is full width, and then all I'll do is drag this section into this, and I'll save it and then preview the page. So now you can see the entire section is within the group block, and if I slide it, it works really well. And now since it's full width, it's not sliding that much because the page width is like a lot, so all of the menus are getting filled. So I'll just add a couple of more menus for demonstration purposes. And I'll save it and refresh this page. Now you can see this is how it's meant to work. Alright, so I'll just go into the group block, I'll click on max width and see how that works. So now it's below the entire logo, so it has a fixed width of the side, so it will not overflow into the edges. So this is also a really good setting. And now what I want to do is create some sort of division so people know that this entire section is the navigation section. So pretty simple, I'll just go into the group block, I'll go to styles, I'll just change the background and I'll just make it a little bit dark. Okay. And preview it. So this is pretty neat and I really love how it looks. Alright, so you can play around with it, you can play around with the styles, you can play around with the settings. And just so I show you, like if I go into the link section, I can change the font size of all of these elements. So that is really useful. Okay, so I just made it small and now the entire navigation block is smaller. Now how it looks on mobile is also interesting. I'll just go into inspect element to simulate that entire portion of the site, and this is how it looks. So that's a really simple plugin and I hope you find value in it. I'm pretty sure you'll be able to build a lot of cool websites using it. I personally like the aesthetic of this, so I spent an entire day to develop this plugin, and this is really neat. Like if you click on the menu, you'll be able to see all the pages, and if you go into a particular page, you'll be able to see like the sub menus listed here. So that's really cool, and I find it to be really clean, because if I was to list 20 sub menus in a drop down, it would look really ugly and I would have to scroll up and down the drop down menu. So this is really neat and I personally like it. Do let me know what you think about it, and if there's any way that we could make the plugin better. If you want to download the plugin, just go to verysimplewp.com/plugins and you'll find a link to download it. It's completely free, it's currently in beta, so do let me know if you find any bugs. So far I've tested it with a couple of page builders and it works perfectly fine. I might just make an Elementor version of it because I know a lot of you use Elementor, and that's just about it. So thanks for watching and stay tuned for the next one. Bye bye.